Bisnis, Kosong.
Why did I explain it? Because many people like to separate stocks and businesses.
Okay,
But that's impossible to separate. Stocks are part of a business ownership.
right. In fact, stocks, you own the business.
You own the company.
Right, and you can't be like, oh, stocks and businesses are separate. It's better to have stocks without a business. Quote, no way. If there's no business, there's no stock.
Right. A blank slate. Yes. In fact, the stock must be attached to the business because only the business can ultimately be valued and its shares sold. Stocks without a business are blank paper. That's why many people say, buy stocks from a good company.
Right.
Because logically, you can't possibly buy a bad company or business, right?
Yes, now you understand, friends, why people always say to buy a good company as an analogy. Yes, because that's basically how it is.
Hey,
They're empty companies whose shares are sold? Yes, that's why I said earlier that we're buying blank paper. But we'll discuss that later. Okay, we were talking about where the profits come from. There were dividends, there were also capital gains.
but there are also strategies, Tay. The most common strategy, which I know and which many people probably know and have heard of, is trading.
There's something called investing. So, can you explain the difference between trading and investing in stocks? Maybe before I get into this, I want to digress first from what I said earlier, friends. Here's a little share. If you're confused about how much dividend you'll get, here's a simple one. For example, you buy shares in a bank.
Hey,
How much?